Hello, we are in Kharkiv, handing over some drones to our friends from the 3rd International Battalion. They came from all over the world to fight against Russia. We decided to ask them about their motivation, their work as drone pilots, and the technologies shaping this new kind of war. Subscribe for more Frontline interviews. And also, let us know in the comments what do you think about the future of Europe.
Hello.
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 Could you
Dobry wieczór.
Dobry wieczór.
Could you please introduce yourself? Tell us what's your probably call sign or name, which one you prefer, and what is your role in the Legion?
My name is Silver Dog. I'm from Norway. I'm 40 years old and I'm a drone specialist. That means I fly drones and I make drones as an engineer and a FPV pilot. I also fly Mavic, but I prefer FPVs.
Bugs is Anandum. Bugs is my name. Searnachme. I'm from Ireland. Yeah, I was originally infantry and I've just moved to drones now, working with Mavic. And thank you very much for your donations and all your support so far.
Silverduck, when did you came here for the first time? Do you remember how long are you here?
It depends on what you mean by here. Do you mean Kharkiv or Ukraine?
Ukraine.
I came to Ukraine in March 2004. 24, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bit early.
You said you're 40 years long time.
Yeah, no, 2024.
So you came to fight, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So did you join the Legion from the did you find the unit and then came to fight for a specific unit, or you just came here and then chose on the ground based on what you were making this decision to join a particular unit and to become a drone specialist?
I remember when I was in the Norwegian military, I didn't care much for drones, to be honest. I didn't really know what it was. Of course, when a war breaks out, you hear about it. And like I said, I was in the military. I have my twin brother here, and we're fighting together. So we searched on the internet, found the International Legion webpage. We applied there, and we got a response the day after. We then got called by different units. Do you want to join here? Do you want to join there? Based on the stuff that we put in our applications. But we ended up being recommended going through the 4th Battalion in the Legion, which is like a training battalion. So we decided to do something that has a large impact, and we were hearing that everyone's doing drones now. And we had some friends who were already interested in that, so we joined them. We moved to Ivano-Frankivsk and joined Vitruchan. Shout out to my school there, my drone school. So we took actually 2 courses there, one during the summer and one during the autumn. And then we talked to Rook, who's you guys are familiar with from a previous interview, and we asked if we can join. So now we are here in 3rd Battalion as drone operators and engineers.
And what is your story? When did you came here for the first time? And how was that decision made? Even when was the point in time that little sort of joining Ukrainian military?
Well, I was in the French Foreign Legion prior, in the 3rd Foreign Infantry. And I was studying my master's and working a lot, and I just hated life. So I was like, why not do something important with the time that I've got on things that I believe in, instead of just living for the sake of myself? And I think it's something that a lot of people, and I'm embarrassed to say that I'm from Ireland and embarrassed about the EU, that the fact that this war has gone on for 3 years and people send their condolences, they say, oh, it's so sad, they post on Instagram stories, but do nothing to change it. And I was so fed up and caught up in this ego-driven sort of thing, and I suppose, yeah, people do like to reject the fact that all of our law or order is based upon violence, essentially. It's the threat of something that keeps people in check, more or less. So what are we if we can't enforce that? What's going to stop war coming to our doorstep, to Ireland? We look at the geopolitical landscape of there, how it is, how people are so divided with the immigration, whatever. that honestly, I think it's just a boiling spot for propaganda, and this right-wing movement is just people are so focused on what drives them apart than what unites them together, and how we can protect those freedoms to have a disagreement. And I suppose, yeah, I came in July of 24, and I went straight to 4th Battalion, same as yourself, trained there, and I went to the 3rd Special Purpose Battalion with another team, working in reconnaissance and infantry. And I suppose as much experience as I had being a NATO soldier, nothing actually will mentally or physically really get you ready for what you're about to step into with artillery, clusters, drones, drones. You know, it's a love-hate relationship because, God, I've been injured twice by them, FPV, well, actually several explosions, but thankfully made it out through the other end, and we're looking to give those invaders a good walloping for it. And they, you know, I lost a lot of friends here too that were great people. So I feel like it would be a forlorn cry to just back down now. We've got to see it through to the end.
Thank you very much as a Ukrainian.
Дякуємо.
Couldn't appreciate it. You mentioned a point about being trained in NATO Army, and there are a lot of talks now, and like typically in English-speaking environment, people who are commenting on Ukrainian situation are foreign experts, sometimes you know, retired veterans, sometimes, you know, different people with huge military expertise and background. And I heard a comment recently that this war is a stalemate because these are two Soviet armies fighting with each other.
No.
And they couldn't, you know, get to a point. So would you agree with that? And what is your comment on that? Do you think it's a stalemate? Do you think that both armies are kind of developing, or do you think they're frustrating, you know, to get it any further and it will continue for years?
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
Get started and,
Where we are right now with the technological landscape of how the battle space is playing out is literally where World War I was before the advent of the tank. No man's land has become, now the only disadvantage now is that no man's land has become so much larger. The area of the battle space is just expanded. We knew that a conventional war would develop into a war of attrition, which is where we're at now, but drones are just everywhere. And, you know, as fit as I think I am, you know, I got 2 legs, it's got 4 rotors, it moves 120 kilometers an hour. I can do maybe 18 kilometers an hour if I really push it. So, you know, yeah, that's, but like with the NATO experts and that, like the only sort of plausible opinion that I'd listen to would be from the Viet Cong, to be honest. This is where like with the aerial dominance and the aerial threat, that's what this war has developed into, just with a lot more explosions.
I think that a lot of the progress that we attribute to good things actually come from war. It pushes progress, even though we don't want to recognize that. So saying that we don't continue developing our arsenal, I mean, this war is the perfect example of that. It started off maybe more as a Soviet versus Soviet war, and then drones got introduced because people are thinking, and necessity breeds creativity. So, of course, and it's getting better, it's getting more militarized, not just hobby gear drones. And working with drones, you really get a pure insight into how devastating this weapon is. Every day I'm making stuff to kill other people, and sometimes I just sit and think about that, like that's a weird realization. It becomes kind of surreal. But at the same time, if someone's trying to kill you, you have to defend yourself. So it all comes down to that, like he said, violence, it is there whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And I also want to mention that I'm ashamed of humans and Europe. I think to forget that this could be me, to forget that I don't want this happening in my backyard or with the people I love, that ignorance, that who's winning, and are we gonna do something, or are we just gonna wait a little longer? And leaving that role alone to Ukraine is, yeah, there's no words. I fucking hate Russia, so fuck Russia, but I'm starting to hate the rest of the world because everyone wants to live a happy life, a life where you don't have to live in fear, where you can plan your future, where you can do what other people do in a modernized world. And when you can't do that because some fucktards on the other side of the border decides to take something that's not theirs. And I mean, they are assimilating all of Asia, northwestern Europe, southwestern Europe through the last 1,000 years. And we know that that's what they want. They took the Novgorodians, the Siberian Khanate. They, of course, have tried Georgia and Azerbaijan, and Belarus is kind of spoken for already. They have their own country name, but it's basically Russia. And they have Kaliningrad, or whatever it's called, northeast of Poland. It's like a staging point for war. We know they're massing forces there. If you look at deep state next to Finland, Finland doesn't have a very happy relationship to Russia either. And nobody likes them. So if we're gonna just, I'll deal with that later, that's like the #1 mistake humans always do. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. We have to face the problems, deal with them, solve them. And the only way to do that is to do something. I mean, donations is doing something, but everyone can do more. Do I need that cup of coffee today? Hell, I'll send that $2 to Ukraine, or I'll put up a subscription, or I'll get involved in an NGO like you guys. Anything. It's so typical human ego and ignorance standing in the way of humanity and cooperation. And now Ukraine isn't just about getting Russia to fuck the fuck off. It's about a symbol of international cooperation. And I have to say that I don't believe one word coming out of Trump's mouth. I think he's a hypocrite, narcissist, liar. It blows my mind that anyone can believe any word coming out of his mouth. And when European leaders say, we're gonna do this, and then, but only if he agrees, and he agrees, and he agrees, and then at the end it's a stalemate, and then they don't do anything. So wake up, do something real, please.
Well, I love how you brought this stalemate into another stalemate on the other side of it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you were covering mostly things in regard to civic society, like ordinary people. And what do you think about governments? Are European governments and governments of your countries doing enough, or learning enough at least, in terms of military technology, in terms of the new developments we have here? Because you were talking about training, like the training you got as a NATO soldier. So perhaps this is, this differs from the situations in battlefield here as regards to drones, electronic warfare, and everything that develops. So do you think, let's say, Norwegian government, or European leaders in general as a whole, or NATO, are doing enough to learn? Do they send experts to the field in here? Do they ask you something when you get back home, whatever, to share your expertise and to invest more into drones and crap Chinese technology pieces, or develop their own technology pieces to make FPV drones cheaper back home? So what are your takes on that?
I have so many answers to that. Can I?
No, go on, record.
So governments, I just have to say I don't really like politicians. Maybe that's kind of obvious right now, but they try. I guess they try. And that's kind of all you can do when there's so many things to govern, be mindful about, and they're just humans as well. But we as the soldiers are on the ground experiencing how this works, so they definitely need to, probably are, but maybe to a larger degree, listen to what works, what do we need. Of course, there's always talk about money and funding and where does it go and all that, but just finding concrete solutions. I think that the drone production, the military gear production in Ukraine is a large win. I think they should capitalize on that maximum, because the more we rely on especially Chinese technology to make our drones, the more vulnerable we make ourselves if they stop. And we know that they are kind of with Russia, so, and we don't know what their next step is either. And if they are in some kind of coalition with Russia, they can, it can escalate, or it can at least stop the supply line for Ukraine. I know there are some starting up and like increasing their production, but I think that it's necessary to be more self-sufficient about these things. I forgot about the other part. Please jump in.
How about Ireland? Do you think, you know, at first, like Irish people, why should they care? You know, it's so far away from them.
No, it's not. We have so many striking similarities with Ukraine. We too had a Holodomor, the Great Irish Famine, or well, nothing great about it, but and we were subjugated to foreign occupation. We also had a native population then that wanted the people to come there, and all this here sort of thing that happened between it. But the problem today with political discourse is that it's so rife with this here sort of like pettiness, this small mentality, short-sightedness, because you think about it, politicians are only serving for a term of 4 or 5 years, so that's all that they care about. You look at our debt deficit, it's absolutely bonkers and bananas. Like, you know, at the end of World War II, we said, never again, we're going to be better, we've learned our lessons, and then Korea, then Vietnam, then Afghanistan, or Iraq, then Afghanistan, I don't know how many times. So why should Ireland care? Well, it's the same horrible story that unfortunately was quite close to home for me with the Troubles, was that innocent people are paying with their lives and blood for something that, you know, it's something that you touched on as well, that you said that people just want 3 things: peace, love, and security. When those 3 things are threatened, you know, all mayhem breaks out.
And the other side of that, from my perspective, is any sane person should oppose tyranny. And in my book, Putin as a dictator is a tyrant. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not just him, it's the whole system, it's the whole oligarchy. And I'm sorry, but if you're a pidarasi, you come to this country illegally, you forfeit your life. I don't care like what reasons you have. Oh, I'm doing it for money, I'm doing it for whatever. I don't give a fuck. You're nothing to me. You're
last thing you're gonna hear is
yeah. I don't give a fuck. Because that's what it is. That's what you've traded your life for.
And we came here to defend Ukrainians, and if that means killing Russians, then that's what we do.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
I appreciated this little talk, and I think we'll come back again, because they were really short but deep. So yeah, really. Yeah, I hope to see you soon, and good luck with your drone works and engineering work and flights. And see you soon in Kharkiv or wherever else in Ukraine.
До зустрічі.
An after question about Ukrainian language. I just wanted to ask, you speak quite well like Ukrainian. Why so?
Моя дружина вчиться мене.
Why is it important?
Why? Because language is, we have a saying in Irish, it's a cheer ganchenga, it's a cheer gananam. A country without a language is a country without a soul. And language isn't just the sake of a means of communication, it's also how you understand the world, so your perspective. And
it's a cultural identity. Without it, like you said.
So do you speak Irish? That was my dream when I was a teenager.
Really? To learn Irish? Let's say go Holland.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. This is really cool.
And don't forget to donate to our current drone project. Visit our website to check more projects of helping Ukraine.